Okay, hi guys. This is actually my third or fourth attempt on this video. Just realized that there's problem with the sounds, and then I did the video again, and then there's problem with the video. So this is my another attempt. So hopefully this go all right. Okay. So this is my attempt to put the sound to the video that I think the image is kind of all right. Okay, because I don't want to type anymore. So last time we stopped at we just made the endpoint connect to the database. So in the this video, the main task is to try to actually do the same thing, what in the page.tsx. And if you remember, I have a problem with the previous video where I cannot use this publishable default key. It's because I forgot to put the value inside the env file. My fault, sorry. Okay, so if you want to use the new key, if you follow all the steps from the previous video, don't forget to put the value into the env5. You can put both value, that work. It just you have to select one value in the server.ts file. You can use either one. They're interchangeable. Okay, they work all right. So if you're going to have the project last longer than next year, I suggest you do the update and use the publishable default key. If you're just going to submit and be done with it, unknown key is fine because based on documentation, they're going to duplicate the key like late next year. So you should be all right with that. But if you're going to create a new project, make sure that you use a new set of key. And then if you use a new set of key, when you go to Vercel, don't forget to put that into the publishable default key into the project environment variable as well. Okay, so if you remember, we have this code for the we have this code for selecting book copy. Okay, from the database. Okay, so you would notice that here just not I have a little problem with the image as well. It's kind of cut off something on the right. So actually going to show you the actual full code. Actually I'm going to just use github.com. Okay, should already log in. Okay, it's fine. Sorry. I pretty should log in before, but I forgot. So I have this repository created. Luckily I make a branch. So here this should be where I still have the full code. Let me see, API router TS. No, this already changed to the new. Let's do ConnectDB. I want to show you the full code where we join. This is the code, I think when we leave the video, okay? So we have const data that we await superbase from book copy. And then we do select copy ID and we let superbase join the table for us. So we're going to join book copy with books. So that actually gave us book information along with the copy ID. I'm looking for another version that will give me the version that do the join with the author as well. because that's what we add in. Let me see. Um, Sorry. How do I do tabs? Newest book one. Okay, not that one. Um, and not the starting code. That's basically here. Let me do this. Newest book. Retrieve. ConnectDB. Okay. So let me copy this. And what got cut off on the back right here is that so we're going to let Superbase client do the joy for the order for us as well. So we can do this. Okay. And that's it. Uh-huh. That's it. So this is actually what got cut off at the end. So we can actually give Superbase and tell it to just grab the order for us for each of these books as well. And you would notice that would it be able to do that? Because if you remember, one book can have many book copies, so it's one too many. So each book copy has ISBN of book. So yeah, obviously we can join with book and get information. But is it possible to join with other because it's many too many? If you remember my database schema, um, let's get back to the Superbase. Okay. So you would notice that each book has a joining table. So we have author and we have book author, where it does the join between ISBN and author ID. So one author can write many books and one book can have multiple authors. Okay. The answer is that if you do the foreign key properly, Superbase client actually pretty smart, and it will actually grab the order information and make an array in case of many too many for us. So one book, it will just make an array for a list of order. For example, here if you look at book number 2, I think I scroll down there in a little bit. Okay, so one book will have author as its properties. It will be an array. You will notice based on that you can see the index 0, 1, 2 there. If you look at number 2, it's going to show up in a little bit. Okay, so you would notice that we have two authors in this book. Okay, and Superbase client actually did a pretty good job of grabbing them and make an array of the object for us. So inside the book properties, as a property of the book property of the return object. Okay, so yeah, that was got cut off from the back. I will fix it in the next video. Okay. Um, so now that we run this, that will be what you get from this endpoint. Okay. If you observe enough, you will notice that there's something weird on number 4 and number 5 result, but we fix that later. Okay. So now let's do the first thing to put this code into the page, the TSX. Okay. So I'm actually going there. Okay. So Because page or TSX here is a server component, so it actually do be able to do everything just like what we did in the endpoint. So what we're going to do here is we're going to copy the import and all the code to fetch the data from Superbase and put it here. Okay, I guess there. So copy that. The path's going to be a little different. So you might need to do the import again or to fix the path. Up to you. What you like to do? I will just do the import again so that I will let the Visual Code, Studio Code to fix the part for me. Okay, and you would notice that right now we have the staff pick section, which I don't need it now, so I'm going to delete it out because we're using book dummy object right now, and I'm going to totally change the format of the object. So the second part going to cause problem, and I want to fix it at this time. So, and I'm also going to change that to popular book as well. So we just delete it. Okay, and we don't need the get stuff as well, and that get feature book going to be replaced with the code that we get from the endpoint. Okay, so I'm going to grab that the whole thing there, just paste it in page.tsx before the return. Okay, so we need to grab all the data we need before we return the result from the component. I'm going to delete the next response because we don't have response anymore. I'm keeping the console.log so that we know what happened. And you see the arrow in the await there. So now our home going to be a sync function because we do a synchronous operation right now. Okay, so good. So we're going to put the newest book to feature book instead. Um, so you would notice that the reason why we can just give the other array to the feature book. So if you go look at the feature book.tsx, so you will see that this is the format of our object. Inside the array, we have 5 components, just like the dummy object that we put in. The column or the property though are totally different. Okay, so yeah, instead of having ID, we have book copy ID instead. We don't have cover, we don't have description. Well, so now if we look at our page again, you would notice, yeah, we have object. So we have card showing up, but we don't have any information. So we're gonna have to go and modify our component featurebook.tsx. Okay, so you would notice that here we take books as any. So that's why it doesn't do API check for us. The good thing is you can pass in any API. The bad thing is there's no type check. Okay. So the first thing, we don't have to change a lot of things in here because this is we just passing the object to book card. So the first thing I'm going to do is to do the sanity check because we pretty don't have a book return from the database just in case. So if there's nothing, we just return now and not processing any data. Okay, so if books not now, then we can process stuff. So most of these are for the carousel code. Okay, so I'm using the carousel of from Tailwind. So here we just need to pass each object in the array and then create the book card component. So before B is already the object, but if you notice now, the book information is in B dot book. So we're going to put it in and we use copy ID as a key instead. At this point, it doesn't like our book yet, mostly because the property were different. So I'm going to have to go back and fix the book card component as well. So let's go to bookcard.tsx. So here we don't have order. So I'm going to put the placeholder first. We already have titles, so that's good. We don't have ID. And that's we have ISBN instead. Okay. That's pretty should be alright. We don't have cover, but for the image, that's going to fall back. So we just don't have the image. We should be fine. Okay, and then we will process the order later. So here you have every information showing up except the image and the order name. So let's wait and see how we do this. So if you remember, our order is an array of an object with name properties. So we're going to need to make a string based on that value. So remember when I teach the map, array map, I told you that we're going to use it a lot. Yeah, this is one of the case that we're going to use it. We're going to transform from an array of object with name property to an array of string. Okay, and then I'm going to join them to create a string. So let's make a variable first to store that. Okay, and then we're going to assign the value to our order list with the map of we're going to map the array and then join and assign the value to it. Okay. So book dot orders, that's the array that we're going to map. So and then we do map. So we know that each of the object going to be object with one property is called name. So we're going to map, and then for each object order AU TSOR. Okay, we're going to return order.name. Okay, so that's going to give us an array of string with a lot of names inside. So we're going to join them with comma in between value. That's it. And then we can use that string on our front. So here is there's an warning saying I was just worried that the order would be duplicate with or clash with the other name, so I will just change the name. Okay, but it actually not necessarily. You can actually do that. Okay, so let's use that. So put it in curly bracket. Okay, so now if you go to the front page again, yay, we have the order coming up properly. Okay, but if you look at the item number 4 and number 5, you would notice something strange. Hey, it's duplicate. Why? Actually, the reason is because if you remember, for one book in our schema, we can have many book copies. And it so happened that number 4 and number 5 are of the same book, and the book copy actually is bought on the same day. So that's why it show up together, because we just select from book copy, sort by acquisition date, and limit to 5. Okay. So this not working. We have to go and change the way that we select the data from the database. You can try thinking about it. Okay. So basically, we need distinct ISBN. Okay. But if you try to just distinct ISBN, you get incorrect value anyway. Okay. So this is what I already figured out. So here's the SQL string that actually will give you 5 newest book with no duplication. Okay. So that part from number 7. So this is a select statement that will give us the distinct SBN, so no duplicate book. And for each book, it's going to grab the new acquisition date. Okay. But if you use only this statement alone, you would notice that since we order by ISBN first, so the ISBN with the smaller number actually going to come first. So we cannot do the limit 5 anymore. So actually let me show you that on the other page. Give me a sec. We're going to copy that statement, and then we run this. So you will see that here the result. So you would notice that here you get something you don't see before, like the letter from Vincent van Gogh. You get way of seeing, and Jean actually dropped down to number 7 or 8, even though it's published in 2020, and the one in 2016 coming before. That is because the ISBN is the second smallest. Okay, so that's a problem. Okay, we sort ISBN, and then we sort acquisition days from the newest one first, but then the ISBN is going to trump that. So this is not good. So we're gonna have to use the result from this table as a temporary table T. So this is what you see there. So we select this thing as a table T. That will give us the list that you see before. So we get every single book, actually every single book copy join with book that is not duplicate book, and then we join with book author and author, so that we get all the information as well. And I figure out that since we only need ISBN title and a list of author, I will do string aggregation there. And now we can order by acquisition date and limit 5. Okay, so now this will give us the newest book copy. Okay, so if you try to run this right now, this will give us the list of the newest book. So that's why we do the select from again. So this is a kind of nested select statement. So I have checked. Superbase client actually cannot handle complicated select statement like this. So the recommendation is to create a view. So that's why you see number 1 there. So we create a select statement from this view, which if you run, this is the result you get. So basically, if you have complicated statement, you can try to create a statement first, test it that is something you need, and then you create it as a view. It's like view is like a snapshot of the database. Once you create it, you can select from it. You cannot delete it like a snapshot. So it's just that it read all the information. Okay. So we go back. So you look at the line number 1. So that is the code to create the view from the select statement. So the view that we're going to create is named newest book copies. So once you create this, you can just run this. It will create the view for you. If I actually gave the SQL for this in the repository, and but if you want to just follow along, just pause the video and type this in the SQL editor and press run. Okay, and then you will get the view. Once the view is created, you can select from it. So using the view name, newest book copy, that will be thing that you can select from. And it will be similar to using any select command. You actually can join stuff as well. But you cannot need to join stuff with Superbase client because there's no foreign key. Okay, so there's some limitation. Okay, but usually if you do the view, you actually got the ready to use information for your um, website. Okay, so next let's try select from it. So you can just do select star from the book copy and you will get this information that we want. Okay. Um, And also, if you go to the table section, you would notice this view showing up there. You see the eyes, so to show it's a view. There's a problem with the script. So it's created with unrestricted policy. So if you want, you can just click on it and do auto fix and confirm the security invoker it add for us. That's will be fine. Okay, just press OK. And then now we can use it. Let's try to use this in our endpoint. Okay. And then later on, we will try this in our page as well. So that is a select. So you would notice that it's much simpler than the previous one we do. So we're going to do select from newest book copy and we just select star. But those are everything we need. Okay, we don't even have to order because we already order. Okay, there. So if we try to run the endpoint right now, we get the result that's ready to be shown on the website. We don't even have to process the order name anymore. So in the next video, we're going to try to use this on the front page instead and complete the rest of the front page. Okay, I think that pretty much it. So hopefully I don't have to do this again. Okay, see you guys hopefully in the next video. Bye bye.